Okay, welcome to Lesson 7, ACT and Grammar, video number 7. Today we're going to be talking about wordiness and redundancies. Now this, again, like everything that we've been talking about, this is really important for the ACT and really important for your own writing because there's a ton of wordiness questions on the ACT English section. And once you train yourself to look for them, they become really easy and they're the easiest points that you get. But you just got to train yourself to look for them. And we struggle with this as well. And we'll see what we're talking about when we talk about wordiness and when we talk about redundancies. So let's jump right into it. So what do we mean by wordiness? Wordiness is when you use too many words to express an idea. Good writing is concise. What do we mean by concise? Short, to the point. Concise means short and to the point. So good writing is short and to the point. That's what we want to aim for with our own writing. Okay? Basically what it comes down to is good writing doesn't use 10 words when you could say the same thing in 3 words. More is not better, right? When it comes to writing, more is not better. Don't use 10 words when you can use 3. Okay? Makes sense? So we want to strive to be concise. We want to be short and to the point. Don't use too many words, right? And like we say, these kind of questions come up on the ACT all the time, and it comes up in your writing. I think you guys think that more is better. More is not better when it comes to writing. You want to be short and to the point. So let's look at some examples. Conan Doyle did not want to be engraved in the memory of the people as the author of the Sherlock Holmes stories. So let's see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words. 8 words. That is too wordy. Can you guys think of a more concise way to say this? I'll give you, pause the video if you want. Think about this one for a second. There's a much easier way to say this instead of using 8 words. What do you think? Well, I can say this. I can say this pretty much in 1 word. Instead of saying engraved in the memory of the people, just say he didn't want to be. He didn't want to be remembered as the author of Sherlock Holmes. That's it, right? 1 word. We could say all of this in 1 word. It's much more concise, and good writing is concise. Okay? How about the other one? During my travels through Asia, I kept a journal for the purpose of recording my thoughts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We don't need all those words. That's too wordy. So hit the pause button, see if you can figure out a way to make this much more concise. During my travels through Asia, I kept a journal to record my thoughts. That's all we need. Right? We don't need all of those other words. It's too wordy. Right? We can say the same thing. Instead of using 5 words, 2 words is preferable. During my travels through Asia, I kept a journal to record my thoughts. Same thing with this one. Conan Doyle did not want to be remembered as the author of Sherlock Holmes. Remember, shorter is better. We want to be concise. Okay? And so you'll come, like we said, ACT will have a ton of questions where they use 10 words when 3 words would be better. When they use 5 words, when you could say the same thing in 2 words. So be on the lookout for those. Okay? Let's take a look also at another kind of question that comes up on the ACT, and another thing that you guys do in your writing. You guys are redundant. Right? What do we mean by redundant? This is another kind of wordiness. It's when you use 2 words that mean the same thing. You don't have to say the same thing twice. Again, don't say the same thing twice. right? That is redundant. We want to avoid that. So let's look at some examples. My older sister, who is a sibling of mine, got married last weekend. Why is this redundant? Why is this redundant? Well, it's redundant because sister and sibling are the same thing. Of course your sister is your sibling. Why would you say my sister who is a sibling? Of course your sister is your sibling. So we're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing twice. So what are we going to do? We just eliminate this. We take this out. My older sister got married last weekend. That's it. Right? We don't need that part about her being a sibling. We know she's your sibling. She's your sister. That's redundant. Don't say the same thing twice. Okay? So we take this part out. Okay? Right? We take this part out. How about the next one? The firefighters were brave and courageous as they stormed into the building. What does brave mean? It means courageous, right? Courageous means the same as brave. So why are we saying the same thing twice? It's redundant. We eliminate one of these. And now we have a much better sentence. It's more concise. We don't have the redundancy. So the firefighters were courageous as they stormed into the building. Okay? Makes sense? Like I said, we need to learn to make our own writing more concise and avoid the wordiness, avoid the redundancies, and we need to train ourselves to see these questions on the ACT. But so if you have a firm understanding of these, why don't you go ahead and do the quiz on Lesson 7, Wordiness and Redundancies, and good luck.